This position is going to be to try and improve wrist extension, decrease some tightness through the front of the wrist as well as through the flexors of the fingers. So initially, when these are pretty tight, having something that's about table height or your bed if you want something a little softer, you have to have the range of motion to turn your palms up before you're going to be able to do this. And I'll show you another position if you can't. But for this one, I want to have that position where I get my palms all the way up to the ceiling. I'm going to come back to where my fingertips just hit the edge of this table, and I'm going to very lightly start to push my palms forward in a downward angle towards this surface. Now I'm not putting a lot of pressure on my hands. I'm just going as far as I can comfortably. You see my elbows start to straighten, and if I'm able to, I would start to push my palms. So as I do this, I'm gradually putting more and more weight through my hands. Now if I want to make this more comfortable, if I step closer, if I step right up next to my hands and do it this way, now I'm not really increasing the amount of weight on my hands. So standing here, I'm straightening my arms, but there's very little weight coming down. So the closer I am to my hands, the more comfortable. I mean, technically I could even do this here, right? And that doesn't feel like much of anything. And then as I take my hand further forward, the further I go, the more stretch. So you could do this something at your side, like I'm doing here, starting back and working your way forward, to where I'm just fingertips touching, gradually putting more and more weight down through the hand as I press the heel of the hand down. And you see this puts quite a stretch here. Another option, if that's not working out for you, but this should, as long as you start behind you, would be to do it with your hands apart in front of you, fingers spread apart, and then doing a little bit of a shift side to side. So this is another way to progress into a little wrist extension. If I want to make this one more challenging, I would bring my hands gradually closer towards each other. This one I would say is a little bit more of just a tension or pressure on the wrist itself with less stretch up into the forearm, where this one kind of gets me a little bit more of a stretch all the way up. So either one is okay. If I had to pick, I would say this progression is usually better for most people.